What's up, everybody? My name is Key Air, and you are watching the important things that really matter. Today, we're going to be talking about men. Is it worth marrying in the U.S.? Men, is it worth marrying in the U.S.? First of all, before I get into it, would you please like, would you please share, would you please subscribe, and would you please hit the notifications bell? All right. Let's get into it. All right. Very extremely important information that you need to know. Men, is it worth marrying in the U.S.? Part 5. So, one of the things you need to know, which is extremely important for you to know, is that it can take you, if, say for instance, you were married to somebody and you got a divorce, or rather, you got a divorce from them, or more than likely it's going to be they got a divorce from you. Why do I say it's more than likely that they got a divorce from you? That's because according to the statistics, 80% of divorces are filed by women. So pretty much almost 100% of the people who's filing for divorce are women. Okay, they're the ones walking away from marriage. I am 100% for marriage. I am 100% for marriage. One of these days I will get married to someone, but I have to be cautious. You have to be cautious who you get married to. There's a lot of things that you need to be looking at. For example, go through my video series. I got a video series called the Child Support Hustle. That's it. Go look at the Child Support Hustle. Look at the other videos which talk about men is it worth marrying in the U.S. and look at some of my other videos that talk about things along those particular lines. I got a lot of videos that you need to take a look at. A lot of my videos will save you literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some people many thousands of dollars. You need to go back, go through the list of the videos that I got, and look at everything. If you want to gain knowledge and experience, I'm giving you plenty of information. I'm giving you information based upon facts, based upon experience, and not my opinion. Not my opinion. Now, if I do give you something that's my opinion, which will be rare, it will be based upon many facts that I've seen. I have an engineering background, so many of the decisions that I have made in the past and even in the future, many times are based upon facts. You have to make decisions many times based upon facts. You have to. All right. So it's anyway. So let me get into it. What's extremely important in this particular video is how long it normally takes a man to recoup financially from a divorce. It takes a man anywhere from 15 years to a little bit over 20 years to recoup from one divorce. And we're going to get into how this stuff affects you tremendously. Let me say that again. It could take a man 15 years or even a little bit past 20 years to recoup financially from a divorce. By the time you pay all the money out for your attorney fees and for your wife's attorney fees, because your wife might make it so that she's got you paying for an attorney that's suing you. Okay, so the latest figures that I heard was from a female, and let me say fair use. A woman, the latest figures that I got from a female attorney that was in California, the figures that I received from her basically in a nutshell was they had determined that a man will probably be spending somewhere about $100,000 for his divorce, a minimum of $100,000 for his divorce, and he might be paying a minimum of $100,000 for his wife to sue him in the divorce. Because you have situations where the court will tell the man, well, you gotta pay for your attorney and you gotta pay for your wife's attorney. Even though she may have came home and told the husband, I want a divorce. The man's like, why you want a divorce? Well, just because. She might want to just run the street. And a lot of people don't want to, it makes a person look bad when they say, oh, that's why they get in court a lot of times. They say, oh, we're dissolving this relationship due to irreconcilable differences and stuff. It usually means there's really no reason. They just want to get rid of each other, okay? But a lot of times, and I know at least 3 different situations where the wife just came home one day and said, I don't want to be married no more. I know at least 3 different situations. The wife came home, just said, I don't want to be married no more. I want to have fun and run the street with my girlfriends, okay? And so basically in a nutshell, you will have a lot of women that will literally destroy their own marriages, destroy their own family, having an incredible effect on their children because the family has been dissolved, all because somebody wanted to run the street, all because of that. And like I said, I know at least 3 or 4 different stories. They were all pretty much the same. Wife came home, told the husband, don't want to be married no more. What's the reason? She want to have fun. She want to run the street. And basically, in a nutshell, destroyed the whole family based on want to run the street. The result of that was financial catastrophe for the husband, and usually financial catastrophe for the wife. Later on, you find out all types of stuff that happened to the wife. The wife may have had a car repossessed because of hers. Now, when she was married to her husband, she had the car. There was no problem. The husband was making sure all the bills were being paid and all this other type of stuff. But she gets out there by herself after she leaves the husband, and all of a sudden now she had a car repossessed. She's having all types of financial problems. The man's having all types of financial problems. And things could get so bad that the man literally may commit deletion, if you know what I mean. All right? A lot of men have deleted themselves because their wives have came home and just said, don't want to be married no more. Matter of fact, the last rates that I looked at from 2008 till about 2014 or 2012, the incidences of men deleting themselves went up 60%. Did you hear what I said? The men deleting themselves went up 60%. Main reason, their wife left. So a lot of these women who don't realize it, their husband's blood is on their hands, and God is going to hold them accountable. A lot of women who think they will not be held accountable will be held accountable by God, because what they do not realize is that when they married their husband, it was not just in front of the church and other family members, but God was there also to witness and everything. And those ladies will be held accountable for destroying their marriages. I don't care what anybody tell you on this earth, they will be held accountable when they have to stand before the judgment seat of Jesus Christ. Very, very serious subject. Very serious subject. But anyway, it can take a man 15 years to 20 years to recuperate financially. Did you hear what I said? 15 years to over 20 years to recuperate financially from a divorce. That's messed up. Some men have been hit so hard financially that they literally have to go back and move in with their mother. They literally have to go and move into somebody's basement because they don't have enough money to even feed themselves. Do you hear what I'm saying? There are some men, I had a guy sit up here and told me he lived off of hot dogs and pork and beans for years. And I'm like, man, are you serious? He said he lived off of hot dogs and pork and beans for many years. I'm like, man, this is the financial aspects of what would happen to you if your marriage fails. That's why it's extremely, extremely important for you to be very careful who you marry. You better watch and pray. You better watch and pray. You better watch and you better pray. And you better ask the Lord to let you know about this person. Is this, Lord, are you going to be in this to help this marriage out, to make sure that everything goes well? And is this person going to do right by me, or is this person just getting married to me so they can take half my money? And there are a bunch of people that are out there right now, this minute, only getting married. And before they're getting married, they're already planning the divorce before they get married and walk down the aisleway. So this is extremely, extremely important that you need to know this. So you pick the wrong person, it can take you 15 to 20 years to over 20 years to recuperate financially. All right, so which leads into the story I want to tell you. Story time, story time, story time. All right, there was this guy. I had a woman I was seeing one time. She wanted me to take her to a clinic to get looked at. And so I was taking her to the clinic. And I said, okay, fine, I'll go with you. So I was sitting in the lobby. And while I was sitting in the lobby waiting till she get finished with whatever she got to get done with herself and health-wise and stuff, I'm sitting in the lobby and I get the magazine. I begin to start reading the magazine. And so while I'm reading this magazine, this older African-American male says, sir. And so I'm like, yes, sir, what's up? What can I do for you? So he said, can I talk to you? I said, what do you mean, can you talk to me? Well, he said, can I talk to you? Because when I'm at home, I can't talk that much. So I start getting really, really interested in hearing what this guy got to say as to why he can't talk much when he's at home. So he tells me he can't talk much at home because he has to walk on eggshells in his own house. I said, what do you mean you gotta walk on eggshells in your own house? He said he married a woman that argues about every single solitary thing. I said, what do you mean? He said, it doesn't matter what it is, she will argue about it. So I asked I said, dude, are you serious? He said, it don't matter. He said, I can say that it's the color blue, and she'll argue about this not blue is sky blue, or it's not blue is red, or whatever the subject is, the lady wants to argue. Now, I happen to know about certain people like that because I got some of them in my own family, okay? They want to argue about everything. They will know that they are wrong as two left shoes on their feet, but still want to argue about it anyway. And so anyway, there's people out there that's like that. And unfortunately, same people to be talking about that some men are controlling and domineering and stuff like that, a lot of them are controlling and domineering. So anyway, the guy said he couldn't really talk. His wife always wanted to argue about whatever it is, and I felt extremely sorry for the man because the man said he's literally got to go home and be quiet all of the time. And I'm like, now you know us men, we don't have to talk a whole lot. We do not have to talk a whole lot, but when you go home and you got to be quiet because you with somebody want to argue about everything, that is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely, a person can be absolutely miserable being in a situation like that. And it's easy to be in a situation like that if you happen to be with one of these type of people. So I talked with the guy, so I asked him the most obvious question. I said, listen, man, if she is causing you all these problems and all these complaints and arguing about everything, why don't you just leave the woman? Just get rid of her. So he's like, I can't do that. I said, what do you mean you can't do that? And this falls in line with what I said before as far as the financial effects upon men. It can take you 15 years or over 20 years to recuperate financially. Some people never recuperate financially. Like in this particular case of this guy, which I'm talking about. This guy, this older African-American male told me he can't leave his wife. I said, what do you mean you can't leave your wife? Even though I'm all for marriage, if a person caused you that much grief, leave they behind. So, man said, I can't leave her. I said, why? He said, I already had a divorce. When he said that, I'm like, oh, shoot. What he basically was telling me in a nutshell, he already had a divorce. He got hit so hard financially from the first divorce and from the child support from the first divorce, he can't afford to move. If he was to divorce this wife that he's with right now that's causing him all types of problems, if he was to get rid of her, divorce her, leave her, he literally will be in abject poverty. Did you hear what I said? So this is a perfect case of it's cheaper to keep her. Perfect case. He can't afford to leave her. He will be homeless if he leave this wife. So it's almost like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you stay with her, you're going to be miserable. and want to kill yourself, or, well, you're going to be miserable and want to delete yourself because the person is, you can't say nothing in your own house. All right? And then on the other hand, if you get rid of her, you're in abject poverty and you might be living in a box on the street, in the alley somewhere. You might be living in a box. So you're like, okay, let's see, do I live in a box in the cold? Or I stay here with this woman that's driving me crazy? Do I live in a box in the cold? Or do I stay here with this woman that's driving me crazy? Cold, crazy, cold, crazy. A hard decision. Well, you start thinking about it long enough, you're like, well, I do like to eat. I do like being in a place where I can have a bed to lay down in. And then you think about, yeah, I do like having heat. I don't like being out in the cold when it's 0 degrees outside in a box. So his choice is he has to stay with his wife. And then come to places and ask strangers like me, can he talk to me? And I did not mind, after he told me all this, I did not mind talking to the man, because in some shape, form, or fashion, I was kind of helping the man, okay? So anyway, please be careful, be careful, be careful. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please hit the notifications bell, and peace.